All right, this is our first ever e-learning First Chapter Friday. So this is another South Carolina Junior Nominee book. This is Allie Carter's Not If I Save You First. Chapter 1, 6 years ago. Dear Maddie, there's a party at my house tomorrow night. Mom says I can invite a friend if I want to. So, do you want to come? Yes, no, maybe. Logan. Madeline Rose Manchester had absolutely no intention of invading the White House, but she knew 7 different ways that she could do it if she wanted to. After all, Logan had lived there yet less than a year, and already he and Maddie had found 4 tunnels, 2 pseudo-secret passageways, and a cabinet near the kitchen that smelled faintly of cheese and only partially blocked an old service elevator that really wasn't as boarded up as everybody thought. Charlie? Maddie asked the big man in the passenger seat of the dark SUV. He turned to look at where she sat, her seatbelt snugly around her, even though everyone knew silk wrinkled, and Maddie had never had a silk dress before. She'd already complained about it, but Charlie had told her that it was either wear the seatbelt or walk, and her black leather shoes were new, and they'd already started to pinch her feet, and Logan had told her there might be dancing later. Maddie dearly, dearly hoped there'd be dancing. What you need, Mad? Charlie asked while Walter kept driving. Do you know there's a place under the stairs in the East Wing that's full of spiders that died during the Nixon administration? Do you think that's true? I don't think that's true, she said, without really waiting for Charlie to answer. I could ask Dad, Maddie went on, but he didn't work here then. At least, I don't think he worked here then. I mean, I know he's old, like really old, but is he that old? Charlie laughed, but Maddie wasn't exactly sure what to do and what was so funny. I'm not sure, Mad, but you should say it exactly like that when you ask him. This sounded like a very good idea to Maddie. Thank you, Charlie. I'll do that. She thought for a moment, then went on. Did you know it's possible to crawl all the way from Logan's dad's office to the press room using the air ducts? No, Charlie shook his head. It's not. Sure it is, Maddie told him. Logan bet me $5 that I couldn't do it, so I did it. And he gave me 5 ones instead because 1 5 instead of 1 5 because Lincoln is his favorite. You can reach the Oval Office via the air ducts? Charlie asked, spinning to look at her. Yes, but I ruined my favorite pink leggings. Then you should definitely tell your dad that. He doesn't care about my leggings, Maddie said, and Charlie shook his head. Not about that, about... Never mind, Mad, I'll tell him. When they finally reached a pair of tall iron gates, Maddie couldn't help but swing her legs nervously, kick at the back of Charlie's seat. But Charlie just rolled down his window and told the man with the clipboard, We have a VIP guest for Rascal. The guard looked back in the back seat and smiled when he saw Maddie. Through the tinted windows, she could see the other guards circling the vehicle. Dogs sniffed around under the bumper, but the guard kept his gaze trained on her. Looks like a high-risk entrant to me, boys. I don't know if we should let her in. Hey, Felix, Maddie said, leaning forward. Did you know that you can fit 2 kids and 3 kittens in the little compartment underneath Logan's dad's desk? If the kittens are tame, that is. I wouldn't try with mean kittens. Neither would I, Felix said, just as one of the men outside announced, You're clear. Then Felix stepped back and waved them through the gates. Have fun at the party. Logan never had fun at parties. In his experience, they rarely meant pizza and bouncy houses and ice cream. Not anymore. Sure, there was usually cake, but they were always fancy cakes that were tiny, and Logan's mom usually gave him the look after he ate more than 4. And ever since the time he asked the Prime Minister of Canada if she was going to eat her cake, he hadn't been allowed to sit at the table with his parents, which, in Logan's opinion, was just as well. Is Maddie here yet? He asked his mother. I don't know. Is she under the bed? Logan's mom grinned and glanced through the bathroom door at the giant canopy bed upon which Logan lay. No, we don't fit. I'm not going to ask you how you know that, his mother said, and went back to fixing her makeup. When the phone rang, she reached for it, and Logan heard her talking. Yes, excellent. Send her up. Is Maddie? She's on her way up, her mother told him. And Logan bounded off the bed, ran out into the hallway, then flew down the big staircase of the residence. The farther he got from his mother, the more chaotic everything became. There were people with huge bunches of flowers and staffers running up and down the stairs in high heels. But all Logan really saw was Maddie. Mad dog! Logan screamed from the top of the stairs, racing to join her on the landing. You look. Is my dress too wrinkled? Maddie blurted as if the answer really, really mattered. He shook his head. It's, no, I don't think so. But Logan trailed off as he followed Maddie's gaze through the bulletproof glass. The chaos of the building all but disappeared as, outside, a helicopter landed on the lawn. A group of men and women were running towards the house, crouching low beneath the helicopter's spinning blades. Only the last two men off the chopper walked upright, laughing and talking as they strolled towards the door. Maddie turned to Logan. Dad's home. Maddie couldn't be sure if she was talking about Logan's father or her own. The statement was true in either case, but there was no denying that, as the two dads came into the house, the place went a little more and a little less crazy. There was an energy that always surrounded Logan's father. Then her father asked, "How you doing, rascal?" And Logan's eyes got bigger. Did my dad really kill a deer? No. Maddie's father's crouched against the windowsill, bringing himself down closer to Logan's level. Your father and a senator from Kentucky and I sat in the trees in the woods for 7 hours hoping to kill a deer. And you didn't see one? Logan asked. No, Maddie's dad shook his head slowly. We saw one. Logan's eyes were wide. And my dad didn't shoot it? No. Maddie's dad sounded like he was carefully considering the answer. Your dad was more interested in getting a vote out of the senator from Kentucky. But Logan looked confused. You had a gun. Why didn't you shoot it? Maddie's father seemed to think this was an excellent question and leaned a little lower, because when I shoot, it isn't for fun. It's because you have to, Logan said. Maddie's father nodded. And what's more important than shooting, rascal? Logan only had to think about that answer for a moment, making sure you don't have to. Maddie's dad tousled Logan's hair. Good job. When Maddie's father tried to pull her into another hug, Maddie pushed away, even though her dress was already wrinkled. You really do smell, Dad. Okay, Mad Dog, I'll give up. I'll go shower. He started down the stairs. Now, what are you two doing in the next 41 minutes? Maddie and Logan looked at each other and gave an almost identical shrug. Fine, her dad said. Don't tell me. Just stay in the house and stay out of the way. It's kind of crazy around here. He was almost out of sight before they say in unison, We noticed. Maddie was used to being pseudo-invisible, but Logan had been in the spotlight so often the past year or two that she couldn't tell if it was something of a new but not entirely unwelcome feeling as they walked through the chaos of the White House.